Hello. I have a couple of things very short to say. I'd like to thank you for your leadership, congressional leadership, all of you, when the EpiPen went skyrocket. And with all the pressure you put on them, they had to bring the generic in, which is a lifesaver for myself, my son, and anybody else that have lethal food allergies, like nuts, shellfish, whatever. And I thank you for that. Also, I'd like to thank you for your lead on the opioid drug addiction. It's thank you, because I've lost many students not so long ago, recently, to opioid addiction, from depression, whatever. And I want to thank you for going to the fundraiser the other day for Anthony Colley. He was a former student of mine. Also, this goes for civil rights for children, of people in general, and especially for people with special needs, or people that are apt to be bullied. I'd like to see, at least 4 of my former students have been bullied to suicide. And I'd like to see, and I know that nothing ever happens bad in my town. Hello, that's why we have the invisible wall, right, Mayor? But things like that do happen in my town. I've spoken up about it many times. I became a witness for the state once, and I gave them the bill that was passed in Massachusetts that would give help to teachers to help the student instead of losing their jobs over it. Help superintendents. But the way the system is, we still have the state, we need something federal to force that. And according to Time Magazine, Massachusetts has a wonderful program. So, yeah, because, and let's see, I think, I do love Obamacare because of the pre-consistent, but okay.
Pre-existing conditions.
Because some children are born with forms of autism, Asperger's syndrome and stuff, and from the very start, they get the short end of the stick. So they need speech and OT and stuff like that, where without it, we would be in big trouble. And I'd like to say that there is a new law that the Supreme Court unanimously decided that no longer will special education students of any kind have the minimum education, that it must be exemplary, because at the beginning they're off to a bad start. So I'd like to thank you for this time.
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, I think one thing I want to mention is there are a number of good pieces of legislation that address this issue of bullying at the federal level. I'm working a lot with Jared Polis, my colleague from Colorado. I think one of the things that the federal government can do for sure is provide resources, particularly for teacher training, administrative training, and for peer mentorships. You know, a lot of good anti-bullying work is being done by young people who are sometimes the best sort of interveners in these cases. But a lot of districts just don't have the resources. They're committed to it, but they need the professional development and the training, and I think that's a place where the federal government can